some distinctions. Uncertainty. Due to the nature of the program, due to the longer duration of the program, programs are automatically more uncertain than projects. Okay. Then how you, regarding managing changes, for program managers need to consider program change and project change. So when there is a change, it's not only you need to have a helicopter view, like how this change in a project is going to affect my program as a whole.
Right.
Okay, so program level change you need to consider while managing changes in program, and project change management is employed to help the project manager. So both managing the change at a program level as well as a project level. And also complexity. Okay, program complexity may be the result of combination of various factors, because a lot of governance is involved in program, a lot of stakeholders, the definition itself, the benefits delivery, the interdependency, the resource scope change, etc. These things automatically make a program more complex than a project, while the project complexity may be due to the organizational or dynamic complexity. So your project level complexity is much lesser than a program level complexity. Okay. So these are some program and project distinctions, and these are the main factors actually which we have to basically discuss in the program management performance domains. Now we are actually coming to more detailed things. First 3 sections I assumed it would be easy, and I was thinking I can finish in 3 hours. So almost, yeah, I finished in 3 hours. So some of the topics are repeated here, though we discussed. Now we will actually go into our first domain, which is the strategic alignment. So in between, I would also like to share, I will also like to, okay. I will also like to go into this slide. Oh, the Sprintzeal slides, which you already have.
Yeah.
Okay, now you are seeing this slide, yeah? I want to just quickly go through this. These are the various tasks which you will be performing in the various domains, like the strategic alignment, the benefits management, the stakeholder engagement, the governance, and the program lifecycle. So all these domains are, all these tasks, you know where these tasks are coming from? I told you about 2 documents in the beginning. I told you about standard for program management, and also I told you about examination content outline, ECO.
Yeah.
Okay, so I will just try to open the examination content outline for you. Okay. If you go to the PMI website,
yeah.
If you go to the PgMP certification, that page, you will be able to download this book. I will just show you. It's something like this. You're seeing it now?
Okay. Yeah, it's orange. Yeah.
Orange, yeah. PgMP. This is called as PgMP examination content.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. Okay. So you can see here the date April 2011. I just downloaded it. So this examination content outline has not been updated for a long, but it is actually remaining the same. So if you go to this book, all these details, whatever I put in the slide, it is here. And you can see here, these are the domain tasks and knowledge and skills for program managers. So basically,
okay.
Yeah. So this is like a job description for a program manager. The various tasks you are performing.
Okay.
Okay. So the various, like for example, this is the domain one with the strategic program management, and this is The program lifecycle, again, you remember the 5 process groups in project management?
I think so. Like a
Initiating,
planning, yeah, initiating, planning, executing, monitoring, and closing, something like that, right?
monitoring and controlling and closing. Yeah. So similarly, at a program level, they have mentioned it here. Same thing: initiating, planning, executing, controlling. They are calling it controlling here, not monitoring and controlling. And finally, closing. Again, for your information, I will tell you one more important point here. Even though the examination content outline has divided into initiating, planning, executing, monitoring, and controlling, I mean, controlling and closing. If you go to the SPM, Standard Program Management, you will not see such a subdivision. What you are going to see in SPM is just program definition, program delivery, and program closure. So basically 3 domains there. Yeah. So you see that difference.
So then which one do I refer to?
Actually, you have to map it.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay, that makes sense. More difficult. Okay.
Yeah. So I will tell you, delivery means it's where actually the execution is happening, right? So you can say executing as well as monitoring and controlling, or controlling is happening in the delivery, correct?
I just hope like in the multiple choice, they're not putting both of them. Like, let's say they're not putting like delivery as a one option and then also controlling as another option.
Yeah. Yeah, because of the nature of the program, because it's not one executing and one controlling, no? Because there is a number of projects which are being happening there. So you have a number of executing and number of controlling. So we call it in totality as a delivery.
And in the exam, right, would they put like the options from both types of principles together? They wouldn't, right?
No, such confusing things they would not do, but you just need to understand like how to map it between.
Okay.
Because these 2 documents are okay. So by knowing this information, you will be able to tackle the questions. Okay.
Okay.
Because some people, what they do, they try to go to the standard for program management and try to see where this initiating, planning, closing exactly it is coming, but they will not find this, because when they understand that delivery means it is including executing and controlling, definition means it is initiating and planning, and closure means it is closing, then you will be able to map between these 2 documents.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Don't worry about that. Okay. Now, if I go to this PGMP training material, which you already have, just noted down, this starting from the slide number 15, you have all the tasks. This is nothing but taken from the examination content outline, which I just showed you. Okay, so when it is in strategy alignment, the task 1, what you will be doing is you will be performing an initial program assessment. So just think you are actually going to start a program. You start with an initial program assessment. Then you establish a high-level roadmap. Roadmap is basically a document. We will discuss that. It's coming up. Then you define a high-level roadmap or framework. You have to first you establish, then you define a roadmap. Roadmap means like, what is the roadmap for my project? What are the key deliverables? What are the key milestones? It's a high-level roadmap. These things you are establishing here. Yeah. Then you come up with a mission statement. All these things I'm just quickly running, but definitely we will go into the details of all these things. Next, task 5, evaluate the organization's capability. What's the capability of your organization? Identify the benefits, what you are going to do from your program. Then estimate the high-level financial and non-financial benefits, which is actually you are expecting from your program. Then evaluate your program objectives. Once you did all this, you have to obtain an approval from your organizational leadership. Yeah, to obtain leadership approval. Then you go to identify and evaluate integration opportunities and needs. What are the integration opportunities between the various components of your project? And also at the same time, how to exploit any strategic opportunities which you come across. All those things you will be worried about in the program strategy alignment. And I am not going into the details because we will be discussing that in detail in each of the performance domain when we come into. Right now, I'm just quickly going through the various tasks which you will be performing. Okay,
Yeah.
so within the program strategy alignment, you will be doing the business strategy and objectives, economic forecasting, feasibility analysis. Here, economic forecasting, if you remember from your PMP days, you remember the cost benefit analysis, internal rate of return, yeah, return on investments.
Yeah.
Those things, I have a slide for that just to brush up your memory. Those are something like your economic forecastings, which you will be doing before selecting a program. Okay, and the following are the knowledge and skills for the program strategy alignment, like regarding the portfolio management, program and constituent project charter development. So the various projects within your program, it will need a project charter, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so sometimes you will be performing the role of a sponsor for the various projects. You will be approving the charter for the various programs, where the various projects under your program. Correct? Program mission and vision, public relations, scenario analysis. These things mostly we will discuss when we discuss about when we come to that particular performance domain. Now coming to program lifecycle management and tasks, we have initiating, we have planning, we have executing, we have controlling, and we have closing. So in initiating, what we do, we need to develop a program charter in the beginning, right? That translates strategic objectives into high-level program scope statements, develop a high-level milestone plan, develop an accountability matrix, define standard measurement criteria, and finally, before starting, you need to conduct a program kickoff with key stakeholders. Here I am just running through it. Don't worry. I will come back to it in detail when we come to the specific domains. Now I'm just going through the various tasks which we will be coming across. Okay. Now coming to planning, you have to develop a detailed program scope statement. You have to develop program WBS, establish the program management plan and schedule, optimize the program management plan, define the PMIS, which is the project management information system. If you remember in PMP, you would have studied about PMIS, the various automated tools, softwares, which etc., which you will be using for your project management related activity.
Okay. Yeah. Rings me a bell. Yeah.
Identify and manage unresolved project level issues, develop the transition, integration, closure, the key performance indicators you have within your organization, KPIs.
We do, but we are not really very good at it, actually. Like, I think this is where most organizations are not so great at.
Exactly. So in planning, actually, you have to develop your KPIs.
Okay.
And these KPIs will depend upon your own specific project requirements. So basically, you should be a subject matter expert on your domain to develop the KPIs, correct?
I guess.
Yeah. Okay. In executing, so we finished this one. Yeah, KPIs. Then finally, monitor key human resources for program and project roles. In executing, actually, the various projects coming under your program, it has to begin, like if there are 10 projects may be starting at different times and finishing at different times. So you have to charter and initiate constituent projects, the various projects coming under your program. You have to establish consistency, you have to establish communication feedback, you have to lead human resource functions, review project managers' performance, execute the appropriate program management plans, consolidate project and program data, evaluate the program status, approve closure of constituent projects. So in executing, suppose your program is like from January to December, maybe in February you finish one project, in April you finish another project, in July you finish another, in October you finish another, and finally in December you finish. So every different interim stages, you need to approve closure of constituent projects, correct?
Yeah.
These things you will be doing here. And in controlling, basically, you remember same thing what you were doing in your PMP. You have to control, analyze variance and trends in cost, schedule, quality, risks. So you are basically controlling the performance of your program, update program plans, manage program level issues. So you can see here pretty much the same thing, but at a higher level.
Yes.
Okay. Manage changes, conduct impact assessment. Very important to manage the risks. All these things you will be doing here in controlling.